I'm about to go to the gym in a few minutes, and I thought it'd be useful to make a video just telling you how much working out has improved my mental condition. And I know, like, you'll hear this, like, oh, working out's good for your mind and all this, and it's true. But for me personally, it's had a revolutionary effect. I've been going to, I've been working out, strength training. I do CrossFit. So I started doing CrossFit. It's been almost 4 years. Next month it'll be 4 years that I've been doing CrossFit. And I can't recommend it enough. Like if you're watching this video and you take anything away from it, my recommendation is go on the CrossFit website, find a CrossFit gym near you, go sign up and just start doing whatever they have you doing and stick with it. And whether you're big or small, whether you're a man or a woman, it's going to benefit you immensely. But on the mental side of it, I did want to talk about mental health and how much it's helped me. I've had a lot of depression in my life. Not like diagnosed, like I'm not going to a therapist. I think it's kind of bullshit. I don't like the idea of going to a therapist. But I'm pretty sure if I were to go to a therapist and tell them what I was thinking, 100% they would have put me on some kind of antidepressants. There's almost no question about it. I mean, for a while had just suicidal thoughts all the time. You know what I mean? Constantly. And I've never tried to commit suicide. And I'm not a religious person, but I do think that if you commit suicide, if there is any kind of religion or anything like that, if there's any kind of creator out there that made us, committing suicide is something they would frown on. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel like you're respecting the gift of life that you've been given if you commit suicide. And hey, for the people that choose to do it, whatever, man, that's your choice. But that's just how I feel about it. But I have gone through many, many years of my life where I would have the same conversation with myself, where I would be like, kill yourself, and I'd be like, no, and then I'd be like, why? And I basically had no answer. I'm like, I don't know, you know what I mean? And I would have that same conversation over and over. Kill yourself. No. Why not? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really have a good reason not to. I think for most people going through life, it's challenging. Like, life is tough. You know what I mean? You have good days and bad days. And it's easy to see a lot of your days as bad days, you know? You're just working, you're kind of grinding out some job over and over and over. It seems just repetitive and pointless. If you have relationships that go bad, it's really mentally tough. But, I started doing CrossFit. The first year I started doing 3 days a week. Right when I first started, pretty rapidly moved up to 4 days a week and then 5 days a week. And I would just go in, you do a class. They have workouts there that are everybody does the same workout. It's a different workout every day. And I just kind of stuck with it. I was doing 5 days a week for like a year. I started going up to 6 days a week. And now I'm going 7 days a week. Like I haven't missed a day in about 2 months at this point. And it's crazy going 7 days a week, just every single day. But that's what I'm doing. Feels great. I feel good about myself. My body looks completely different. The thing that's funny though is these people in the gym are in good shape, but at the same time, they don't look like these like influencers on Instagram, on YouTube. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff is driven by steroids, to get to be like super huge, super insanely cut. A lot of it's steroids. Like most of the influencers out there are on some kind of steroids or peptides. So you're not going to achieve that level of fitness. But what I have achieved is much better mental stability. Like, I don't know when it stopped, but as I worked out and worked out and worked out, one thing is your sleep really improves. So it's just a lot easier to get to sleep. Like if you're working out, you come home, you're tired, dude, and it's good. And then at night, you're able to sleep. I've been working out in the morning, which I think is really good. Like every day I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I go to a 6 a.m. CrossFit class. And it's beautiful, it's a great thing. It makes me feel good. But the suicidal thoughts have essentially stopped. And I can't explain it. I don't know why it works that way. I mean, I guess one thing is, at least you're in control of one thing in your life. Because like if your life's not going that great and you're also out of shape and you feel like shit, it just all compounds on itself and makes you feel worse and worse about yourself. Like I still have this repetitive job. There's a lot of things about my life I'm not super happy about. But the one thing I am in control of is my fitness, So like at least I can look in the mirror and see like I'm not in that bad a shape right now. That feels pretty good. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't think about suicide anymore. But I don't, So I just want to let you know, like if you are struggling with these terrible thoughts of suicide or whatever it might be, I just really, really recommend going into a gym, specifically a CrossFit gym. I mean, the thing that's nice about the CrossFit gym as well is it's a smaller group of people. So like every day I'll see the same people in there. And if you're a lonely person, if you don't have a lot of good interactions with people, like for me in the CrossFit gym, I go in there, I see the same people every day, say hi, you just have like nice surface level relationships with these people, How was your weekend? Oh, that workout was hard. You talk about the workout. You can see this person improving this way, this person improving in that way, and you can share those experiences. And it's really nice. And I think like between physically just exercising and making myself work out every day, seeing all the people in the gym and having those relationships with people, it all combines, and it just makes you feel better, and it gets rid of those terrible thoughts, Like I don't think taking antidepressants is the answer. And if you take antidepressants, that's fine, I'm not saying don't do it, but at the end of the day, you are taking drugs. Like I used to be essentially an alcoholic, I would drink like a fifth every single day or more, it depends. But it was just my thing. Like I would drink a ton, and I also smoked a ton of weed, you know what I mean? Every day I was drinking and smoking weed. Sometimes all day, even when I was working, I would be drinking and smoking weed. And I felt like it made me feel better, but it would also just bring so much depression into my life. But even before I cut out the alcohol and weed, which happened over the last year, the workouts are really what helped my mental fitness to where I just didn't have these horrible suicidal thoughts anymore. So I just want to throw it out there, man. Like with working out, I just really think you have to do it, And it's okay, like whatever spot you're in physically right now, where you could barely get out of bed, or you're kind of fat or whatever it might be. That's okay, I mean, it's actually great. Like if you are just in really bad shape right now, the thing that's awesome about working out is you'll get a ton of progress out of it, because you see a lot of benefits like right away when you start working out. Then it kind of levels off, you know what I mean? And I've gone for like months and months and months where I see no improvement, or once you start hitting like max lifts, it's hard to just keep lifting more, it's just like your strength doesn't keep growing that fast, especially if you're older. Like I'm older. but the mental benefits cannot be denied. So, if you're a person that has issues with mental health, you're sad, and definitely if you have these like suicidal thoughts and you just don't know why you're even alive, which I'm sure is a lot of people, just my recommendation is to get into one of these fitness classes, ideally a CrossFit, because it's great, and just start doing it, man. Just start doing it. Go as often as you can. I think you can go every day, but you have to build up to it because it is hard. You start 3 days a week and try to just keep adding in more classes. The other thing about working out too is you don't have to go like 100% as hard as you can every single day. Just get in the gym, and do what you can. And if you don't feel as good that day, go a little bit lighter. It's fine. Either way, you're getting a good workout in. And those mental benefits, you are going to see them. And that's what's one of the best things I get out of it personally, is I just don't have those horrible thoughts anymore. And I want the same for you if you're in that type of spot. So anyway, that's it for me today. I hope this helps. I hope this helps somebody get in the gym. And yeah, thanks for listening.